this is not a shocker that
yesterday on federal charges of forcibly assaulting
in Chicago
and interfering with a federal law enforcement officer.
they would
DHS Assistant Secretary Trisha McLaughlin
tell
said
the
Martinez
police to
was named
stand
in a
down
Customs and Border Protection
to help
intelligence
ICE.
bulletin
There would
last
be an
week for
attack.
doxing agents
You
and
know,
posting threats
they have like
online. She wrote, thankfully, no law enforcement officers were seriously injured in this attack. Pritzker's Chicago Police Department is leaving the shooting scene and refuses to assist us in securing the area.
Whatever the
We had a
police guy
caravan
should
of
be
10 different
fired,
vehicles that were following our Border Patrol
captain or
agents
whatever it was.
and officers that were out there on the streets of Chicago. And they had followed them and gotten them cornered, pinned them down. So our intelligence indicates that these people are organized. They're getting more and more people on their team as far as attacking officers, and they're making plans to ambush them and to kill them. We have specific officers and agents that have bounties that have been put out on their heads. It's been $2,000 to kidnap them, $10,000 to kill them. They've released their pictures. They've sent them between their networks. It is gangs. It is cartel members. And known terrorist organizations, so foreign terrorist organizations as deemed by the president.
Online, a leaked computer dispatch message from Chicago's chief instructed officers not to respond to calls for help from ICE agents who reported being surrounded.
This guy needs to be fired.
And wanted for the hit and run, this guy fled from the scene at 37 Police in Kedzie. It all occurred started at I-55 in Kedzie, then they fled southbound at Kedzie, where that offending vehicle crashed. They ran the federal agent off the road.
Have them hold tight until I give you further direction, please.
If you guys can start heading there as quick as you can, and then just hold tight for instructions with 999.
So the chief of patrol, clear everybody up. We're not responding over there.
Radio check. And again, per the chief of patrol, we have all the units that per 999. Chief of patrol said all units clear out from there. We're not sending anybody over to that location.
The Chicago Police Department issued a statement that said, in part, to clarify misinformation currently circulating, CPD officers did in fact respond to the shooting scene involving federal authorities on Saturday to maintain public safety and traffic control. However, many reports indicate that two senior Chicago police sources said that was false. ICE Deputy Director Madison Sheehan wrote, not answering a federal law enforcement agency's call for backup in your own city or township is not only wrong, it's a dereliction of duty. And now reinforcements are coming to the Windy City. Hundreds of National Guard troops are expected to be stationed on Chicago city streets after an order from the Trump administration. National News Desk's Christine Frizzell has more.
On the streets of Chicago, tensions boiling over with the announcement 300 members of the Illinois National Guard will be sent in, just authorized by President Trump.
Hundreds of people wounded, 55 people shot and killed. And Pritzker says what a wonderful place it is.
Okay with all this violence and stuff.
The Department of Homeland Security reporting Saturday federal agents had to fire upon a woman who was later hospitalized after those officers were threatened.
Our agents, when getting out of their cars, they tried to run them over and had semi-automatic handguns on them to where our agents had to protect themselves, and shots were fired.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says there have been multiple incidents of CBP and ICE officers inciting violence and conducting middle-of-the-night raids on families, including many U.S. citizens.
They're raiding neighborhoods where instead of going after the bad guys, they're just picking up people who are brown and black and then checking their credentials. There were people that were held, elderly people and children zip-tied. Elderly people held for 3 hours at a time. They are the ones that are making it a war zone.
Those enforcement actions in Chicago, part of a broader nationwide crime crackdown. The Trump administration insists is leading to real results, touting about 8,700 arrests, more than 2,200 weapons, and 421 kilograms of fentanyl seized as part of Operation Summer Heat. FBI Director Kash Patel defending the use of military troops to assist in an interview with Washington insider Armstrong Williams.
What they allow law enforcement to do, the FBI, the interagency, state and local authorities, is to work safely within the city street corners, to operate and conduct investigations, to bust into houses, to take bad guys off the streets, to seize firearms and guns.
The order by the Trump administration to deploy National Guard troops to Chicago came one day after a federal judge blocked a similar action in Portland. That Trump-appointed judge said the action risked blurring the lines between civil and
if you're
military
threatening
federal
the
power
ICE
to the
and
detriment
the police,
of the nation.
you know, and I'm
I'm
sure there's a lot of
Christine Frizzell
corruption
reporting.
with Chicago,
Well, this
Boston,
week, the
and all
Supreme
that
Court will be
corruption.
back
It's
in
all over the
session
place
for a
in these
new
small
term, and the
towns.
justices will decide
But-
a number of cases really at the center of the
And
Trump
honestly, if the shit hit
administration's
the
agenda,
fan,
from social
you know what I
issues,
mean?
voting rights,
The
immigration.
police
The
would
court
go
is set
home
to
and
review at
protect their
least
family.
39 cases this
They
term.
wouldn't give
We're
a
going to
shit,
walk you
because
through some of
if
them
it was
right
some
here. At the
kind
top
of
of the
like
list, probably Trump's tariffs.
thing that was
The High
really
Court will
bad,
decide if the
you know,
president has
they
the
say,
legal
"Fuck it,
authority
ain't
to
worth it. I'm gonna
impose
go
those
protect
tariffs
family."
and really cut out
You know,
Congress in
that's
the
what I would
process,
do.
which
Fuck it, you know what I
traditionally
mean? I
has the
mean,
power to
I got my
enforce
honey
them. The
grow,
court will
it's
also
us.
review the president's move to fire independent agency leaders
I just
as
want to
well.
be out
And
of
of
all
course,
this
we're
fucking
talking about,
nonsense,
you know, these two ladies right here, the FTC
and all the government that's
member
not
Rebecca
doing their
Slaughter, and then
jobs
you have
and
the Federal
shit,
Reserve Board of Governors
fucking
member
fire 'em.
Lisa
Get rid of
Cook
them. Let them
right there. It
experience
will also
homelessness. Let them
look at the
experience.
White House's attempt to
And if I
block
have to hear
birthright
American people
citizenship.
one more fucking
And then
time,
later in the term, the court
they
will
don't.
also review three
Neither
major
side
cases
cares about
concerning
any people,
voting
honestly.
and also
That's
voting rights.
what I
That's a
feel.
big one. These are
And
just a
you
fraction of the
know,
cases.
they
There are
don't.
also
You
others
know,
that deal
and
with
nobody
death
really
penalty,
cares about
LGBTQ
you
plus rights, and culture
unless
wars centered
something
on
happens to them.
abortion, religion, and
Most
racial
people don't, you
discrimination.
know.
It's the second week of the government
That's
shutdown
why it
with
was
no
cool we
signs
met
either side will
those, you know,
budge, and the big question remains: how
sisters, you
long
know.
will it go on? The
I
National
mean,
News Desk's
you know,
Matt Galka joins
and they
us live
actually
now
don't
with
want
the
anything from
details.
us,
And
you know,
Matt,
and
eventually something's
that's
got to
cool.
give, right?
Well, good morning, Jan. That would be the prevailing thought, but we just don't know when. As the shutdown enters its second
this is
week,
a
the
joke
Senate
right
is
here. I mean,
scheduled to
honestly,
again vote
they
on the
need to just
Republican-led House bill that
You
opens
know,
government for
bulldoze
another
it,
6
get the
weeks.
bulldozer
But
out
it's the same one that has
just
already failed
drain
5
the swamp
times,
of all
needing
the
Democrat
corruption.
support in the Republican-controlled
And
Senate. If
mostly
it does
on the-
fail, another could happen tomorrow.
the
Now, there's no
Democrat
indication
side. I mean,
Democrats
'cause
will
Democrat
fold
Party
today,
is
holding
not
out for
like it used to be.
negotiations on expiring
I'm
Obamacare
independent,
subsidies
you
and
know.
reversing
I
Medicaid
like
cuts.
Vanilla Ice
The
said, you're a
president
puppet
again
on both
threatened
sides, you
layoffs
know,
for
and
federal
nobody's
workers in the
fucking
meantime.
pulling my strings. They're putting
I
their
call
hand
them
in my
Democrat
ass.
layoffs. They're Democrat layoffs. They're causing it. We're ready to go back. You know, we have a record-setting economy. We have
People
a
just don't
record-setting
like
country.
change, you know?
Prices are way down. We're doing better
Teapots
than the
that
country's
change.
ever done.
And,
the
you know, if there's
Democrats take
crime
things
going
out.
on,
It's up
I'm
to
sick
them.
and tired of all
Anybody
the
laid off, that's because of
illegals
the
being here,
Democrats.
and they flash their money.
The Trump administration
More
started
so,
talking layoffs last
people that
week.
are
It remains to be seen if they follow
farms and all
through
that.
this Friday.
It's just
It's
a
scheduled to
slap
be the
in,
first day
like,
that government workers
the
would miss
face
a
of
paycheck
everybody
because of the
I
shutdown.
mean, they're not paying
Reporting in
taxes on
Washington,
them. They're not.
I'm Matt Gelka
They're
for the
not,
National News
putting
Desk,
them on,
America's News Now.
Thank you, Matt.
you
Still
know,
ahead
the
this
workers
morning.
caught
As
because,
removed
you know,
the
they're illegal.
controversial
And
ICE
it's just-
tracking apps that both
they're
Apple
breaking
and
the
Google
law,
have
and
now
they need
removed
to
from their app stores.
Put those
Plus, cell phone
employers
blackout, the plot
in
the federal
jail.
agents were able to stop
And
that
that's
was
what I
meant to
gotta
disrupt
say, dawg.
communication across New York